My name is Rushika Perera. I'm an assistant professor in the Department of Anatomy. My PhD is in cancer biology, and my lab has been studying pancreatic cancer for the last 5 years. So what motivated me to pursue a career in science really stems from my love and curiosity of biology as a student. And I think learning about cells and how they function individually or as a unit in an organ, for example, was really exciting to me from a very early stage. And there seemed to be so many unanswered questions that we didn't know. And so choosing a career in science where you can really just explore ideas was really appealing to me, made a lot of sense. So I first learned about the cancer biology field mostly through my undergrad classes. Studying disease and pathology. I was intrigued by cancer biology because I remember a teacher said to me, or said to the class, cancer cells break all the rules. And I think as a teenager, that was a really appealing concept, something that was really intriguing to me, and still is. And I guess what we do now is to try and understand how they get away with breaking all the rules. I found the training that I needed to be a cancer biologist by really sort of immersing myself in first, my undergrad classes to begin with, focusing on work or studies that were really quite specific to disease. And cancer, of course, was the biggest mystery to me. I also found labs that, with the help of my lecturers, that were studying cancer at a really early stage, as the undergrad, where I could go and learn more about how to study it in the best way. So that was really about learning techniques, the basic fundamental techniques of studying cancer, and that also helped to sort of help me understand, how to best study the biology of the disease, how it grows, how it spreads. In terms of how long my training was, so it does vary a lot. So I actually started my training in Australia, which is where I grew up. And the Australian PhD system is a little different from the US system. It's a 3-year PhD program, but during that time, I actually came to the US and completed some of my PhD training here, at Yale University. So my PhD was approximately 5 years, similar to the US program. A postdoc ranges from between 3 to 5 years also. And so I had a postdoc that was approximately about 4.5 to 5 years. And then after that was when I was recruited here to UCSF to start my own lab. So students that are accepted to the multiple different PhD programs at UCSF are given a stipend during their time here. So we, in fact, pay you to come and work with us. So I hope that's an incentive for prospective budding scientists to think of a career in science as a exciting opportunity. The obstacles, I would say, that I've encountered on my path and on my way to my current career are diverse. And I think, some obstacles relate to the sacrifices that sometimes we have to make in order to follow the career path that you've chosen. In my case, I left my home country, Australia. I left my family to come to the US by myself many years ago now. I think other obstacles can be self-perceived, like they're things like self-doubt and insecurity. These can be formidable obstacles to a lot of people at every stage, when you're just starting out in science to even when you're an established investigator. And I think it's important when thinking about overcoming these kinds of obstacles to find the right mentors who can give you honest, good advice, who really care about your well-being and your career. The simplest thing that that everybody does when looking for a faculty position is to search for open positions at universities that you're interested in joining and submitting an application to a faculty search. So I guess my advice would be that for those trainees who are about to embark on that search for a faculty position, to prepare months in advance, to go to meetings, present your work, reach out to people that you might know in institutions that could be having a search in the near future, and ask to give an informal seminar. I think the benefit there is that it increases your opportunity, your visibility, and increases your network of people that you know. So your application is no longer from 1 in 100 or more than that are applying for a position, but there's a face to that name. What I find most rewarding about my career is mentoring young scientists who maybe want to do this job one day, and seeing them excel and seeing them getting excited about a new idea or a new concept or a new result is extremely, I think, the most rewarding thing for me. One thing that I find very rewarding is the collegiality of our cancer research community, specifically in pancreatic cancer. We know everybody. We see each other at meetings. We really collaborate a lot. And I think that's very rewarding when you're tackling a really difficult problem. To be honest, what's most challenging about this career is finding the funds, the money to do the science, to do the most innovative, cutting edge, out of the box research. I think it's always been the challenge to find funding agencies that will support really outside the box thinking. And we've, in a sense, foundations and philanthropy have sort of filled that gap and supported really innovative research. That's certainly been the case for me. So the advice I would give to aspiring scientists, let's say high school or undergrad level, is to start early if you can. If you're in high school, you can always reach out to labs to work during the summer. These are short stays, a couple of months, but it's an opportunity to see what a lab environment is like. And if you do this several times, you get an idea of all the varied types of research that go on in all kinds of different institutions around the world. In a graduate program, or you're a postdoc, I would say the advice I would give is to seek out good mentorship from diverse people. And that doesn't have to be a faculty member like me. You can get mentorship from all kinds of people, other trainees at your level, staff, other PIs who are not your direct supervisor. As long as you feel comfortable talking to these people, they can be invaluable sources of advice and inspiration day to day.